Will Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock during the Oscars shocked the internet, and while Will apologized online, the comedian called it a hostage video. Can we say that this was a sincere apology? I mean, Chris crossed a boundary even though it was a joke, so I doubt Will Smith was willing to apologize. So what do you think? He did apologize eventually, but why do you think he waited until after the fuss? Starting off, what caused the initial feud between Will Smith and Chris Rock? Both artists' issues started at an earlier Oscar Academy Awards ceremony, all due to a bad joke. The question still remains, is Will Smith's action really worth it? There are virtually many other ways he could have handled the situation without making such a public mess. Also, it is believed that Oscar organizers vet all the activities, including jokes to be performed on stage, so it must have passed their approval. So Will smacked Chris's face when the comedian cracked a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith being bald and comparing her to actress Demi Moore's buzz cut in the movie G.I. Jane, released in 1997. Afterward, the Oscar-winning Will Smith howled twice from his seat at Chris, saying, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." While some may disagree with the comedian, he was not technically incorrect because Will Smith's wife suffers from hair loss causing alopecia. However, these events shocked the whole Hollywood community and the world because they were unexpected. I mean, what would you do if someone called your wife bald on a live stream in front of the whole world? So, was it Jada Pinkett Smith who asked Will Smith to defend her honor? Although people believe Smith is not a gentleman and has been faking it for the last 30 years because of his reaction to Rock's joke, most people believe his actions were because Jada rolled her eyes at him and told him to do something to defend her honor because she felt insulted or disrespected after the comedian cracked the joke. She probably didn't take it too well. However, Will Smith, in his apology video, debunked this rumor and said that it was his choice, and he made it on his own based on his own experiences and history with Chris. He also explained that after months of reflection and contemplation, he now knows that was not the optimal way to react in that situation. The Oscar award winner said his wife had nothing to do with his decision, so why could he have acted like that? Now, for the effects of the slap on Chris Rock's daily and work life. Even though Chris Rock has casually mentioned the Oscars event during his current stand-up tour, he has not yet made an official statement or been interviewed about it. So the popular question is when the comedian will feel the need to talk about the event. What do you think? According to People magazine, Rock believes he will never need to talk with Smith about the situation. Chris doesn't have to say anything. According to a source, Will finds this to be more of a problem than Chris. According to a second source, Will must address his concerns. Another insider continued that Chris is alright and that he is already making jokes about it, which is a good thing. On the contrary, he has not let the stress from the slap and its influences disturb his life. That suggests he is evaluating it and it's not a problem. So let's discuss the after effects of the infamous Oscar slap on Will Smith. Will Smith has been recognized as a decent gentleman since his debut in the film Where the Day Takes You, 1992, where he swiftly became one of Hollywood's most popular and bankable stars. Still, according to a statement by Chappelle, it was a mask. Chappelle informed the London audience that many people have forgotten who Will Smith is. Will pretended to be a perfect man for 30 years before ripping his mask off and revealing he was just as hideous as the rest of us. The stand-up comedian further stated that he hopes Will Smith will stop pretending, whatever the consequences are. After the incident, Will Smith received harsh criticism from colleagues and fans worldwide, even though he still won the award for his performance in King Richard. He said in his apologetic video that the criticism led to his depression. In addition, for slapping Rock on stage at the Academy Awards, he was barred from the Oscars and other Film Academy ceremonies for 10 years. And because of the situation, he was forced to resign from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Some of his film projects, such as Bad Boys 4, which I'm excited about, have also been put on hold. I think the man has tried to be honest. Anyways, Will Smith has been more honest about what happened, calling his actions unacceptable in the referenced video apology. Therefore, I believe he has already paid for his actions in full. Now we have Will Smith's apology video. Last July, 4 months after the 94th Academy Awards ceremony incident, Will Smith released an apology video on YouTube to Chris Rock to settle their dispute. Will Smith apologized in an emotional video on YouTube, saying, "I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself. I'm also human. I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit." The Oscar award winner said he's been contemplating a lot over the past several months and admits that no part of him feels it was the correct way to behave at that time. "My most extensive trauma is disappointing others. I despise disappointing people," he admitted. "It bothers me mentally and emotionally to know that I didn't live up to people's expectations of me. I reached out to Chris, and the message that came back was that he was not yet ready to talk, but would do so when he was," Smith stated. "So, Chris, please accept my sincere apologies. My behavior was inappropriate, and I'm available to speak with you anytime you're ready." Apart from explicitly apologizing to Chris, he also apologized to the comedian's family because he had previously worked with Tony Rock, Chris's brother, and they had a good relationship. Smith also expressed regret to his wife, children, and other Academy Award candidates. Smith also sent a letter to his followers, claiming he's dedicated to bringing light, love, and joy into this world. His final message to Chris Rock was, "If you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again." Time for Chris Rock's reaction to the Will Smith apology video. Well, the comedian decided not to press charges against his fellow black man who assaulted him. He has recently expressed how he felt. According to what he said, "I'll talk about it at some time, and it will be both serious and hilarious." Rock appeared on stage at a stand-up show at Madison Square Garden in New York City. He and Kevin Hart were co-headliners of the Only Headliners Allowed comedy tour, which featured Dave Chappelle as an unexpected guest. When he was interviewed during the event, he said people who coined the adage, "words hurt," should try getting hit on the face and see which hurts the most. During his show at London's O2 Arena alongside Dave Chappelle, the 57-year-old comedian allegedly told Smith to "f your hostage video." According to Chris, the slap hurt. Will played Ali, and I can't even play Floyd Mayweather. Rock also referred to the Oscar award winner as Suge Smith, a reference to Suge Knight, the renowned and presently imprisoned Death Row Records executive. Chappelle, who was also slapped on stage in May, used the opportunity to wrap off the evening by claiming that Smith would not have been able to enjoy the remainder of his night if he had been the one slapped. The show is the first time Chris Rock has directly talked publicly about the slap, though he previously said that he would make jokes about it once he had wholly processed what had occurred, and would even like to get paid if he was asked to talk about it. And finally, here's what Chris Rock had to say about hosting another Oscar Awards ceremony. "Imagine being asked to reenact something that caused the biggest disgrace in your career. What would be your reaction? Most of you would reject the offer because what the hell? I understand that feeling, and so does Chris Rock." Chris Rock said during a performance in Phoenix that he was approached to host the Oscars next year, but declined. According to the Arizona Republic, the comedian compared the situation to the O.J. Simpson murder trial scenario by asking Nicole Brown Simpson to go back to the restaurant where she left her eyeglasses before being murdered. He stated that he had no intention of returning to the Oscars and joked that he was physically outmatched by the King Richard actor, referring to Will Smith. He said he is bigger than him and that the state of Nevada would not sanction a fight between him and Will Smith. He doesn't want to experience what transpired with Will Smith again. Who would? So comes the end of this piece, and I would like your opinion. Do you think Will Smith meant what he said in his apology video? Or should Chris Rock already forgive Will Smith? I will keep you updated, so stay tuned, and I would also love your comments.